It is Monday, April 28th, 2025, and you're on my 13-mile commute home. Welcome to the show. Well, I can't believe it's Monday again already. God, the weekend just came and disappeared, and I largely blame the game Enshrouded for my weekend disappearing so quickly. That game has really made me its little bitch. I think I've got like 70 hours in that game at this point. I don't think I'm anywhere near done. And yeah, it's one of those games, you know, where you start playing it and then like 3 hours goes by and you're like, what the fuck? God damn it. So yeah, so I blame most of my weekend being tossed away on Enshrouded. But I'm getting up there though. I mean, I'm like level 22 or 23, and I can pretty much kick it. You know how it is with these games, right? You start off like a total pussy, and then you work your way up to being a stallion, and then you open up a new biome, and the new biome kicks your ass, wash, rinse, and repeat. You know, and that's the sort of way it is. But yeah, so that's what I did most of my stupid weekend, was playing Shrouded, which, you know, whatever. We all need our hobbies. But I did bust ass on videos this weekend. So that was the other thing that I did. If you've been following along, I did a couple of larger videos this weekend. One of them is the truth about whether the Steam Deck is for you, right? Because I get tired of answering the same crap in Reddit. You know, it's like, well, you know, I was going to buy a laptop, but I really think a Steam Deck might be better, you know, and it's like, maybe not though, you know, everyone's looking for us to try to sell them a Steam Deck when it's not necessarily the best tool. So I finally got around to scripting that out and doing that whole bit. I had a tragedy occur again, this time 100% my own fault, and I must own it. So, all right, so remember a while back I was telling you guys about the PC problem I had, and it was basically I needed a BIOS update. That was at the end of the day when all was said and done. But in the meantime, I dicked my whole system up trying to troubleshoot and figure out what was wrong. Well, one of the things that I had done to try to mitigate the problem was I unplugged my little 4-bay SSD enclosure, right? So I took that off, I unplugged it, and I figured I'm not going to use that anymore. I ordered myself a large external drive, and somewhere along the way, I wiped one of the drives before getting everything off of it, and I lost some stuff, right? We talked about that. That's old news. So one of the things that I did was I had an extra 1 terabyte SSD laying around. So I put that in a fast little, you know, small enclosure, and I plugged that in and I started using it. It was super fast. It was really good for doing like video work on and stuff like that. So it was good. Well, once I finally figured out what was wrong, and I decided I was going to put my my drive bay back online with the 4 drives, the SSDs that I had. So I figured I didn't need that 1 terabyte drive anymore that I had already plugged in. So I copied everything off of it, and then I took it out and I put it into this new mini PC that I'm still working on that video. Formatted the whole thing, put Windows on it. So now, I got Windows on there and SteamOS on there, so it'll be a good comparison. But what I didn't realize is that drive, I had partitioned it, which is dumb as fuck because I never do that. I would never partition the 1 terabyte drive into 2 partitions, but that apparently is exactly what I did. So the drive that I backed up, that I thought I got everything off of, that was only half of the drive. The other half had ass loads of stuff on it that now I can't get back. They're gone. One of them was pretty much all the assets that I use for making videos. Yeah. So I spent several hours over the weekend trying to come up with, okay, listen, maybe this is a sign that I need to do some rebranding. Hey, what's going on, man? You pre-ordered your Switch 2. Nice, nice. Man, if we could get an Excite truck, why did they let that property just go to waste? I don't get it, man. Excite truck owns serious ass. I don't know, whatever. It plays pretty good on my Steam Deck though, so you know. Anyway, well, thank you for joining me live. Appreciate that. So yeah, so I started working on it, and I was trying some AI generated stuff just to see if it could give me some ideas, blah, blah, blah. Well, it all came down to I didn't care for any of it. And so I kind of went back to, I can clip out my bumpers and stuff like that. There's a couple of things that I lost that I had to redo, but no big deal. So I did that this weekend. That was, I guess, fun. But I did come up with this little avatar of myself that was generated that I kind of liked. It's just me in a cartoon form. And so now I slide that in and out when I want to make like comments to myself while I'm doing the video. So that's something that's new on one of the videos if you haven't seen that yet. And I have a new closer too to finally reveal the Discord server. So I got some new stuff, but whatever. I mean, I couldn't come up with an intro that I liked and that everyone didn't think was shit. So it's back to the Let's Go to Monroe World intro, whatever. So I did that. So that's the other stuff that I did this weekend. Now, I do want to complain about a couple of things, though. You know, life's not all peaches and cream over here. So, all right. So my son and I like coffee, right? So we have like a $250 Keurig. Hey now. What's up, Chris? So when it comes to the morning Java, we spare no expense. And so pretty much the most expensive Keurig you can buy, which is about $250. That's if you don't want to have like a fucking bubble bath frother and all that other shit with it, right? If all you want is coffee with lots of options, with pods, coffee, lots of options, and a big reservoir, right? If that's what you want, Keurig has got the exact coffee pot or the coffee maker for you. And we bought one ages ago, and about a year in, it died. I'm sure I talked about it here on the show. So I'm like, and my wife's like, no, what do you expect? You guys drink so much coffee, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what, a year? I'm supposed to buy a new $250 coffee maker every year? That's what we're supposed to be doing? HD with Denuvo. Fuck off, man, you bastard. I'm going to talk about that too, so you're going to get some old ground covered, because not everybody who listens to this show watches the YouTube channel. So anyway, so I'll be goddamned. We replaced that thing, and about a year, it died a second time. It died again. So this was a week ago today, I think. So last Monday, the coffee maker dies, right? And I'm like, this is some bullshit right here, because $250 a year for coffee, I know that doesn't sound ridiculous, but it's like, come on, these things only last a year? My wife's like, well, what do you expect? I'm like, what do you mean, what do I expect? Okay. They fuck you with the Keurig, right? So my son has a cup of coffee in the morning and a cup of coffee in the afternoon. Maybe a third cup on the weekends. I have a cup in the morning and maybe one in the afternoon. So that's five. That's five cups of coffee a day that we make with the Keurig. A $250 Keurig. Should that wear out in a year? That's what I'm asking. And the answer is, of course not, 1 year. I know, what do I expect, right? What do I expect? So, of course, I immediately went to Amazon and found the Keurig, and I'm like, am I going to buy this again? Am I going to buy this again? You got me twice. The first time I thought it might have been a fluke, but this thing lasts for a year, so fuck off. So I decided, of course, now, if you want the Keurig, by the way, the Keurig has overnight delivery. But what about a different coffee maker? So we've been pretty impressed with Ninja. We got a bunch of their appliances. We love all of them. They seem to be durable, right? People love them. Very popular. So I'm like, okay, let's see if Ninja makes a coffee maker that suits our needs, right? Our needs are fairly small. Like I said, we don't need the frother. We don't need to be able to do a pot of coffee with grounds, right? We need to be able to put a fucking Keurig pot in there and close it and hit a button and have it make coffee. That's all it really needs to be. So yeah, so I found a Ninja, and of course, it's not overnight shipping. Comes in on Thursday, right? And so this is Tuesday. So overnight, I had time to think about it. And then on Tuesday, I said, okay, I'm going to order another machine. And no overnight. So Thursday, okay, 2-day shipping. I know, first world problems. I have to wait 2 days before I get my coffee maker back. Well, of course, my wife orders something. So this is the sneaky little shit that Amazon does. They'll change your delivery date if they think they can combine it with something else that you just bought. So my wife orders some fucking hard candy or something, these candy sticks. And of course, as soon as she orders that, all of a sudden, now my coffee maker's not coming. And it's been delayed, but it's still on its way. I'm like, you motherfucker, right? I'm jonesing for coffee, right? And it's like, okay, so now it's going to come on Friday, if it comes at all on Friday, right? You know how this stuff works. Yeah, it's running late, but it's on its way. Yeah, blow it out your ass, right? I'm paying all this money every year for fucking Prime, and I'm sorry it's going to be late. It's too bad for you. So anyway, so I was contemplating canceling it and running to Walmart or something, or Target, and getting the exact same model, right? We got both dual screen. I know, right? Could you imagine that? Those were the days, man. The Nintendo DS were the days. We've talked about trying to do something else, but goddamn, man, the time difference and everything else just doesn't. You're not young men anymore, It's a little harder to pull off. But anyway, so now I'm pissed, right? So come Thursday, I'm literally sitting there just I can't wait for my coffee maker, and then it's like, oh, sorry, it's running late. Fine. So I send Brian, because Brian's home, had to go to school on Thursday for something, and I'm like, bring back coffee, man. So he brought back coffee, so that was okay. Life was okay. But yeah, so it finally comes, right? And it's okay. Look, it's a $79 coffee maker, which still seems a little bit high, but it's got a decent size reservoir. It does, 4 different sizes, a couple of different variations, no temperature control, none of that other fancy pants shit. But it's kind of long. I like sort of the squarish footprint, but this one is like long, so it sticks out on the counter or whatever. But I know, again, first world problems, me and my fucking coffee maker, right? But yeah, I mean, it's fine. It'll do the job, and hopefully it'll last a little bit longer than a fucking year. That'd be great. Yeah, so what Chris mentioned on the way in, oh, I know. Chris and I were watching this video earlier on this Bosch dishwasher that only had like half the features available on the dishwasher until you installed an app and registered for their online service. What the fuck? Oh, an app for your dishwasher? Not just something that will beep you when your dishes are clean. Now, first off, you don't need a beeper to tell you when your dishes are done, right? What, are you in a big hurry to go unload the dishwasher? But a washing machine, that one I would buy, right? A washing machine that would alert me on my phone, because maybe I can't hear the thing. That would be fine. Beep my phone. But don't make me sign up. Uh-oh. All right. Let's try this again here. I don't know what just happened. So somebody let me know in the chat. I'm assuming that when the phone call came in, it disconnected and then it reconnected. So I don't know. Somebody let me know in the chat what happened there. Anyway, so yeah. So the other thing that really bothered me over the weekend, Sunday morning I get up, because that's my morning to get up with the dogs. My wife gets to sleep in. I sleep in on Saturdays. She sleeps in on Sundays. I can't believe how bad traffic is. I'm literally just just parked here, man. Let me see if I can get a, I don't know, can I do this? Yeah. All right. See when Google says this is going to lighten up a little bit. Christ, man. 40 minutes to go 12 miles. Back to normal post call. Cool. Nice. Okay, cool. So anyway, so I wake up Sunday morning. I roll my ass up out of bed. I put the dogs out. I get a cup of coffee with my new coffee maker. And let the dogs in. I go sit down and I pull open Discord, which, by the way, Discord is not going to be around much longer, I don't think. Not in the way that we want it anyway, but that's a different topic. So I sit down and somebody mentions the Sega racing, the Sonic racing game from Sega called Crosswinds. It's a new super deluxe kart racer type game, right? And I saw the trailer for it, a couple months back. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, Sonic Racing transformed, all redone, new shit, looks great. I can't wait. And it's coming to Steam. Fantastic. So somebody mentioned it in the Discord chat. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Is that up for pre-order? I'm going to go check it out, see how much it costs, blah, blah, blah. Haul my ass over there, and I hear a siren. Where are you? Must be going the other way. Yeah, and so I go there to check it out, and it's coming soon. And then I see that it's going to have Denuvo on it. And I am pissed. I am fit to be tied that it's going to have Denuvo on it. Because it's so anti-consumer, man. I don't get it. It's got to cost a fortune for them to put it on, and I can't buy for a second. Okay, listen, this is a multiplayer game, right? Who plays Mario Kart by themselves? Nobody, right? So people are going to want to play online. You can't play online with a cracked copy. So you've got Steam already as the DRM, and you've got, basically an impediment to piracy, right? People are going to buy the game. You don't have to put fucking Denuvo on everything. And from what I understand, Sega doesn't like to take it off once it's on there. And I thought it cost them a considerable amount of money, because it costs them a bunch up front, I know, to put it in. And then they have to pay an ongoing fee like every month per user, for this copy protection nonsense. It just makes me mental. And so now I'm all pissed off. I go to their discussion forums, and there's plenty of other people bitching about Denuvo. I'm right there, and I'm like, Denuvo means no sale, blah blah blah. And I go back to the listing, and it turns out not only is it just Denuvo, but they stripped away family sharing too. So if you want somebody on your family or your friends and family share to be able to play it, no can do. And I'm like, you know what? This is some bullshit, man. The only thing left is for them to stick a forced account on you as well. And then I remembered, oh yeah, isn't Sega running their own account online now? Now they swear you're never going to need it to play a game, but it's if you sign in, we'll give you extra stuff. What do you want to bet? What's the over-under on the idea that they will force you to use a Sega account to play online? That's my prediction. There's going to be a Sega account, not an option, required to play online. And people will say, thank you, mistress. Thank you. And I just scream. So I decided, what the hell, I'll make a bitch video. And I made a nice bitch video about it on Sunday morning. Gave me something to do. And so that was my weekend, right? All that stuff, that was my weekend. And then enshrouded everywhere in between. I got some more unusual music formats though that I've got. I can do another 2-pack video of that. I'm going to do that soon, I think this week. Some interesting stuff. Kind of some bullshit stuff too. Let's see. Top chat. Oh, just live chat. Here we go. Hang on. Got sucked into signing into my Ubi account. I got the Switch version of Prince of Persia. They let you unlock the Sons of Time outfit. Yeah. I just everybody wants to harvest you shuck you like an ear of corn, man. This and oh, do you guys see that? Speaking of being shucked by like an ear of corn, Ubisoft has some sort of a class action suit coming against them, I guess, where apparently when you're in a single player game, it's constantly getting data from you. Like not just a protection check, not just an authentication to their service, but literally they're just harvesting your ass the whole time you're playing. And it's like, stop. I mean, Ubisoft should have just shut that shit down because they're not in any great financial position right now. It looks like Shadows isn't the complete catastrophe that we all hoped it would be, despite that being another game that probably should be. But they're not going to be breaking even on that game. Just because it wasn't a complete shit fest doesn't mean it wasn't a huge loss for Ubisoft. And listen, I'm tired of their shenanigans too. So then every now and then, now we got this, what's this, Encounter 33 game? Turn-based combat, not for me. But, that's getting all the kudos because it's a small development team, no social agenda going on, just a straight-up good old-fashioned RPG, turn-based fighting RPG. I don't know. Listen, I dug Baldur's Gate, so maybe I should give it a chance, but I tend to stay away from those things. But yeah, I mean, they're getting this. They sold like 1 million copies in 2 days. That's nutty. I mean, this is like a AA studio, man. God bless. We need, I think, more AA studios because the AAA people have lost their fucking minds. I mean, listen, they have. I mean, almost everything that I've played in copious quantities over the last year or two, AA games, right? Return to Moria, this Enshrouded that I've got like 70 fucking hours in, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, let's get some more AA action going here. The AA's really, I think they've got the right idea, and I'll tell you why. AAA, and I'm not the first person to say this, right? I probably saw it on a YouTube video. Bard's Tale Trilogy Remaster. I played some Bard's Tale back in the day. I guess I just don't have the patience for it anymore. Phantasy Star, when I had the Sega Master System. I'm sure I've talked about this. I had the Sega Master System, and I played the living shit out of, what was it, Phantasy Star 3, I think? 3 or 4, I think. Anyway, I played the crap out of that. I loved Etrian Odyssey on the DS. Of course, all of the RPGs that I played when I was younger, Legacy of the Ancients, Secret of Silver Blades, Questron 2, those are all turn-based, basically, games. Bard's Tale, of course, Dungeon Master. Was it Dungeon Master? Yeah, Dungeon Master. I was singing Dungeon Keeper, but I played that too. Nothing like an imp slapping your imps around with your bitch hand. I love that. At Times of Lore, there you go. But you know what? Those games bother me now. Yeah, quasi real time for Dungeon Master. Right. So, but if you stood still and you didn't do anything, monsters eventually came to you, if I remember right. So it's yeah. So I guess pseudo or quasi real time, I guess, is good for that. But that was also Legacy of the Ancients did that too, right? So if you just sat there, time would pass, just not as much time as if you were moving or something. I don't know. I need something more real. But yeah, I don't know. I can't get back into the turn-based stuff. I consider Baldur's Gate 3 sort of an anomaly. But hey, maybe when this game goes on sale, I'll pick it up and check it out. Yeah, I like action RPGs, but they can't be too deep and they can't be Souls-like. I can't stand. Everything is the same fucking game these days, man. I mean, yeah, we have some outliers, but goddamn, an extraction shooter, another fucking Souls game. I just, you wonder why I pick a game and I stay with it, right? I can't get into these things. I cannot believe we are still trapped in here in traffic. This is ridiculous. I'm not even to the grand turnoff yet. And I've been in the car how long? 25 minutes is ridiculous. I hate being back at the office 3 days a week. I hate the traffic. I don't mind being in the office. I don't mind being in the office. It's getting there and getting home that's the problem. Because I have to sit in this shit. Picked it up a couple weeks ago at GameStop. I'm trying to follow along here. It's not about aiming, yeah. Mention that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Anyway, so these things like Enshrouded and Return to Moria, there's enough crafting to be interesting. There's lots of quests to do. If you don't want to actually do anything, there's still stuff to do. You can just go and slaughter fucking Jawas, you know. And that's almost right. It's Ewoks in this game. Because once you get to a certain biome, you have these little Ewok fuckers running around and you just go fucking berserk on them. It's awesome. And they're up in the tree houses and everything. I swear to God, Ewoks had to have been it. So anyway, yeah. That's about it. I'm trying to think if there was something else I wanted to talk about. I wasn't planning on being in the car for an hour. Yeah, so Time Cop 4K shipped. It's due out tomorrow. I'm excited for that. I'm not a huge Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, but I do like Time Cop. I really do. Yeah, Terminator, RoboCop, those are great AA games. I mean, knocked him out of the park. So I think the AA studios need a resurgence, honestly. Yeah, that 2D Terminator 2 game is going to be great. I like that. I like the fact that they mix it up a little bit and that there's different types of levels. Yeah, it's too bad that you got out on the Office Duty thing, Chris. I think it's a great game. I really enjoy it. Could I have used a little more action? Sure, but, you know, listen. So anyway, yeah. What else do we want to talk about? Looking forward to Time Cop 4K. My daughter's birthday's tomorrow. Chrisania's birthday's tomorrow. I'm sending her some pieces of vinyl, Bolf. She's big into music. Remember, I sent her an MP3 player. What are you guys honking at? Calm down. Everyone's all uptight. Are we past this crash yet, or what? God, it says there's a crash right up ahead, but it must have been back there. I don't see anything. I don't know why we've been stuck in traffic forever. Oh well. Such is as life. Crashes reported ahead 18 minutes ago. Blah, blah, blah. No, Blueprints. I got out. I'm done. I did not get my money's worth out of that. A couple people jumped on the chat. Weight loss journey. I'll talk about that in a minute. So a couple of people got on the comments and it's like, dude, you're not playing it right. You needed to do this. You could have gotten out of that. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't clicking with me as it was. And I was trying to figure out what everybody was all excited about. It's just, I'm sure it's a great game. It's just not for me. How about that? There you go. The weight loss journey has drastically slowed down as my body sort of leveled out, which we knew would happen, right? You can't be losing, 6 pounds a week and then, 8 pounds a week and then have that continue forever, right? Not unless you get cursed by a fucking gypsy guy whose wife you ran over, right? That's the only way that happens. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm steadily dropping a couple of pounds a week, that's supposed to be the correct methodology. But yeah, I mean, I'm staying to the diet. I'm staying on eating the right things at the right times, and I don't know. I mean, Yeah, I would love a gypsy curse right now. That was really for Chris. I don't expect anybody else in here to get that reference, but since I knew Chris was in here, I knew he would appreciate it. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, it's fine. It's slow going. If I really wanted to get on the wagon, I would fucking be on the elliptical twice a day or the arc trainer twice a day. Obviously, I'm not that motivated. Thank you, Chris. Interval walking has really helped my waistline. Almost worked off your COVID weight. Nice. You know, it's walking here is hard. And that's because it's too fucking hot, man. And you know, for me, walking is, again, I know first world problems. It's much like return to office, right? It's not the walking that bothers me. It's the getting ready to walk. I get home from work. I drop my pants, take my shoes and socks off, right? The last thing I want to do is get redressed so I can go outside and walk. So it's really the conveyance of getting to where I need to be. Oh, I know a story I haven't told yet. Shit. So my son's going to college. It's right up the street. You guys have all been following along with this, I'm sure. He got like a $2,800 scooter. It's a nice freaking electric scooter, man. Really nice. And so he's been taking it to and from school on the days that I have to work in the office, and then he has one of the cars to take on Thursdays and Fridays if he needs to go, right? But he spent much more time on the scooter since I've had to go back to the office. So he finally wiped it out. He finally had his first decent little accident on his scooter. And he got a nice gash on his leg, no stitches, no hospital. And a lot of shit on the scooter got fucked up. So, yeah, so he's like, I don't know, I think it's fucked up, you know. So the handlebars completely came loose, right? That's not a big deal. That's 4 Allen heads and buckle it back down. But the little display panel that talks about your speed and your battery and all that other stuff, that got busted off. And yeah, so he took a pretty good spill. So I've been working on getting it back fixed up. Obviously, the handlebars were no problem. The display, there was some it's basically sitting on like a plastic holder, and that whole thing snapped off, but it didn't damage anything on the inside. So I was able to take and super glue it back on, and it worked remarkably well. Everything still worked on it, and it seems to be holding up. So will it hold up forever? Don't know, but I did what I could. Well, then he said there was a problem. There was something else broken on it, and he was afraid to ride it. And I'm like, what are we talking about here? And he's like, there's something that will let it turn too far to the right. I'm like, huh? What do you show me? Take me out and show me. So we go out there, and on the main wheel assembly on the front, there were these 2, I don't know what you'd call them. They're stoppers. So you can't turn too far to one side or the other. And it's not like you're going to be making sharp turns with that thing anyway, right? I mean, and if you are making sharp turns, you're going to be going at really low speed. So, I mean, it'd be nice if it was still there. And by the way, the left one's there, the right one's gone. The right one broke off, and you can see right where it is. I'm thinking it's pretty solid steel, so I'm thinking I might be able to drill a small hole into the frame and then put a small screw there that would end up bumping up against the blocker, right? So it would stop him from making too hard of a right. He's like, well, let's just go take it and get it fixed. I said, they're gonna have to pull the entire front assembly off to fix that. And to be honest, as long as you're careful, you're gonna be fine. He's like, oh, I don't know. So that's the other thing I did yesterday was I took the scooter out, did a bunch of boss ass maneuvers on it, and everything was fine. So I told him, you're good. You ride the damn scooter, you're fine. So yeah, that was the other larger thing that happened was he wrecked the scooter. Like I said, it could have been a lot worse. He could have been hurt a lot more, and it could have been damaged beyond our reasonable means of repairing it at home. So anyway, so that was the other story. Like I saw somebody stroll in. Let me see here. Hey, oh, Alex showed up. Hey man, hey now. Anyway, so I got to stop at the store in about 5 minutes or so. So we have a few more minutes left to chat. I'm trying to think. So I restarted Prison Break. I needed something to play in the background while I'm sitting on the couch with the dogs. So the new puppy is still pretty needy. So, you know, I like to be out there. I like to be out there with the dogs for a couple hours at night, but I want something on that's interesting, but not too interesting, right? So I went through that Danny Trejo 6 or 8 episode Earth's Greatest Uncovered Mysteries or something like that. That was good. I mean, that was a nice little background show to watch. But I need something that I've seen a couple of times that I can have in the background. You know, usually it's Modern Family or 70s Show or something like that, but I decided to roll back to Prison Break and restarted that. And, you know, every time I see that show, it amazes me just how good it is. You know, I mean, they really do a good job with, I mean, obviously it got a little crazier towards the end of the, you know, once it got to like season 3 and 4, kind of got a little on the weird side. But man, this first season was so good. So I got all caught up on that. I was going to sit out and play like Overwatch or something on the deck, and I ended up turning that on and just sitting there watching it, which is like I never do. You know, usually captive audience is me on the ARC trainer, but so yeah, if you've never seen Prison Break and you're not tired of hearing me talk about it, then it's probably it's time to go check it out. It's got a full end to end. It's got a real finale. You know, the way that the show ended really kind of sucked, and then they did the special TV event for season 5, and that smoothed it all out. It was really good. I mean, at first I didn't think I was going to like that season 5, but it turned out okay. So now you have a full story arc. So now, you know, it's not like they had to drop it like all these other shows happen where, you know, they film every single season, they film a goodbye episode or a finale episode because they don't know if they're coming back or not. Yeah, I started watching this video on YouTube. I don't think I ended up getting to finish it, but it was basically why people are going back to physical media when it comes to well, all across the board, really, like audio and all that. But they were talking about why people are going back to like VHS and DVD and Blu-ray. And it's just an overabundance of choice, you know. It was no different, really. I was thinking about it when I was watching this. Reacher and Prison Break, yeah. Oh, crossover? Shit. That'd be awesome. I wonder how they'd pull that one off. They could do it. Well, you know, Prison Break is coming back in some sort of a new story, same world, different cast thing. So how much Prison Break is it going to be? The good news is that the original creator is part of the next series. So whatever, maybe it's got a shot. I'll try it. Listen, I owe him that much, but I'm pretty stuck on my characters, you know. So yeah, Reacher this was a great season of Reacher. I wasn't sure how that one was going to go, but I kind of like the Incredible Hulk Reacher versus the, you know, full story arc per season Reacher. But listen, Dark Winds is over. That one came to an end. So all of the new shows that I care about are over now. Damn it. So Dark Winds is done. Reacher was over. So I got a bunch of seasons of fucking Prison Break to rewatch. So that'll be what I do, I guess. But yeah, I was watching this thing, and it's like, remember when? No, maybe you don't. Some of you are fairly young, but do you remember when there were literally 3 channels on television? 3: ABC, NBC, CBS, and If you happen to flip over to UHF, maybe you could pick up a little something local, right? You can get some sort of a rerun channel or something like that, or public access. But that was it. 3 channels, baby. And you know what? We all paid a lot more attention. It was an event. When something happened, like when Roots happened, or V, the miniseries, or, you know, when Stephen King did his miniseries, when there were events on TV, and it was a social thing. And then all of a sudden, you got basic cable. 13 fucking channels, baby. Holy shit. I don't have enough time to watch everything I want to watch. But it turned out, though, that those 13 channels, you know, at least 2 or 3 of them were shit you didn't care about. I don't think there were any Hispanic channels back then. There's no Telemundo back then, but there was always like a cooking channel, a sports channel, you know, stuff that maybe you didn't care about. So you had really like 6 channels that you cared about, and one of them was like a rerun channel. And then all of a sudden you got extended cable. Then you got the Showtimes, the HBO, the Skinamax After Hours, right? So we started having too much to watch. And that was sort of the beginning, right? And that's when I think TV started kind of losing its luster, if you will. And then all of a sudden, you know, then with streaming, fucking forget about it. There's so much shit scattered everywhere. You're lucky if you can find something to watch, you know? And they were watching, the video I was watching was basically saying, you know, you have 10 services and you sit there and scroll through them looking for something to watch. That's fucking lunacy, man. It's just crazy. And, you know, I mean, I don't know. Go back to the old argument, physical versus streaming, blah, blah, blah. But I think people are starting to, it's starting to regress, right? People are starting to roll back and realize that they're, that yes, is streaming ever going to go away? No. But there is a tier 2. And I think that tier 2 is coming back, right? For those, for music and, you know, movies, music, TV, there's going to be a tier 2 now. There was a time when tier 2 might not have been possible to come back, right? But fortunately, these greedy fucking Nazi fucks, everybody wants fucking $14.99 a month out of your pocket. They killed themselves. They could have been riding high. Netflix could have been the utopia of digital entertainment, but no, everybody had to split their shit off. Everybody wants their hands in the pie. Now look where we're at. People are wanting to go back to physical because it's too much nonsense. So I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was sort of interesting that, you know, we had the same problem with cable when we had too much choice. And you would have thought that they would have learned, right? I mean, how many times have you heard that about cable TV? 200 channels and nothing to watch. Now you've got 10 streaming services and there's nothing to fucking watch. I mean, we have learned nothing. Nobody's learned anything. And these people who said, well, I'm just going to cut my cable, I'm going to save all this money, now they're paying more to have 10 fucking streaming services. It's ridiculous. I don't know. Well, I'm at the store. I saw somebody posted something long. Let me see what that is while I'm waiting for this car to back out. In our market, Nickelodeon would turn into A&E around 7. I remember that. Just stick to YouTube. Yeah, kind of, yeah. But even YouTube is starting to get a little long in the tooth. You know, I constantly have to go outside the algorithm to find stuff to watch. And that's kind of, that again, once again, we're entering a zone where there's too much to watch, and I've got an algorithm that thinks it knows what I need to be watching. And you know, sometimes the algorithm is great, but a lot of times it's not anymore. You know what I'm saying? The algorithm's becoming a part of the problem, not a piece of the solution. And I think that pretty much sums it up. All right, let me see here. Let me get this phone out of here. All right, well, I guess we are done for today. Any last minute things in the chat? How do we get this thing up? Once came out, you bailed on network TV. There you go. All right, guys, this is Shane R. Monroe, Pastor C Radio. You got a nice long show. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.